Okay, we're going to start by talking about the nervous system. Start off with something simple, why don't you, Candace? The nervous system is kind of a complicated system, but we can really simplify it down and make it make sense. And I think not only just make it make sense, but it actually will start making some of the puzzle pieces of your life come together, because it's the master system that controls all of your other systems. So even your, definitely your physical body, but even your emotions, even your mental, your thought processes, your spirit, all of it is affected by your nervous system and the state of your nervous system. So I think that we need to start by laying a foundation that helps you understand some things about your body and the way that it was designed. Because I think sometimes we get really hard on ourselves and we pile up all this shame and all this guilt over things that we really are not able to control and that were designed into our bodies for a reason. So your nervous system is made up of your brain, your spinal cord, and then a whole lot of different nerves. You can see in the sheet up on my screen that there's two different aspects of it, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And it's very sensory because of all these nerves. Because all these nerves in your body, sensation is really the language of the nervous system. Its most important job is to keep you safe. It is designed for your survival. It's the system that wants to keep you out of danger. So much of its initial operations in the central nervous system are automatic. I don't have to think, let me lift my hand. My hand just lifts when I lift it up. I don't have to sit and give the instruction. It's done automatically through my nervous system. So let's talk about the states of your nervous system, because this starts to make so much sense of why we struggle with different ways that we feel during the day. So I have this graph. Let me just move myself aside so we can all see it. Now, ventral vagal is the state of your nervous system that is the optimal state. This is a good place to make decisions from, like it says. In this state, you're going to feel connected and warm, engaged and curious, at ease, passionate and grounded. You're safe and social. You've probably noticed this state before when you just feel at your best. Your mind is operating the way that it should. You kind of feel just like you're nailing life. There's deep breathing. You're getting a lot of breath in this state. You're communicating well with others. You're resourced and you're present. This decreases your defensive response. You don't feel like you're monitoring for threats. You just feel like you're living your life. This is where you're present and you're able to just you're able to make the most of the moment. This increases your digestion, your immune response, your rest, your oxytocin, ability to connect and learn, optimum state. Other states, the other main states that we can be in are the sympathetic, which this is when we're mobilized for fight or flight, or the dorsal vagal. Dorsal vagal is when we're shut down and we're immobilized. Fight or flight is when you're starting to feel out of control. You feel like just life is just too much. You're angry, you're overwhelmed. You feel ready to run or to confront. Maybe not all of those things at the same time, but some of those things describe this state. Emotions like anger, rage, irritation, frustration. If you're panicking, your fear, anxiety, worry. The anger part of this is where we feel wrong, the injustice. That's more of the fight. Like, this is just not right. It's not fair. Or I need to do something about it. Or I have some responsibility in this stress. Like, I need to take action. That's the fight. The panic, fear, anxiety, and worry is more of the flight. Like, I need to get away from this. I need to escape it. I need to run away. This is where we stay in anxiety disorders, panic disorders. The things that I've struggled with have been because I was in fight or flight. There's faster breathing here, usually a feeling of just chronic stress. You're more impulsive and it's hard to think. That's because your adrenaline and your cortisol levels are preparing your body to either fight or flight. And so the blood is actually moving away from your brain and into your arms and legs where you can fight or run. And your heart and all those things in your core that help your body to operate. That's what this state of the nervous system is automatically doing. So some things that can send you into fight or flight are danger. If you're actually in a dangerous situation, your body may automatically start to tell you that it's time to like either get out of this situation or prepare to fight this situation. So if you have actual danger around you, if you're triggered from the past, from situations you've been in the past that were dangerous or that didn't feel good, like we said, sensation is the language of the nervous system. So it's going to try to keep you from anything that you did not like to feel in the past, like any uncomfortable disappointment, any pain, suffering, grief, all of those things. Your nervous system logs, and it's kind of has this log, and it just keeps track. And then it will automatically start to respond to those things, especially if it's something that was like long-term, or if it was something that was like a tragedy, like, a serious thing that just threw your systems into chaos. It will try to keep you from those in the future. It's trying to protect you. The other thing is stress and overwhelm. Not recognizing our limits and not honoring them can definitely lead to a fight or flight response in our body. Sometimes when you have been stressed for a while and you haven't had a chance to rest and you haven't taken advantage of the resources that you have, you will find yourself in fight or flight. And you might wonder, like, what is wrong with me? A lot of people are like, what is wrong with me? I've talked to people before and they're just like, I'm not sure what is wrong with me. And then they start telling me all these things that are going on in their life. And I'm just like, your nervous system is telling you that you've got to slow down. You've got to take a break. You've got to use your resources. Now, sometimes our nervous system, because it logs the past, it can tell us we're in danger and we're not really in danger. I could get in a car accident and then next month I could be driving and come up on the same type of situation that there was the accident last time. And my nervous system would automatically react to that as if that I was going to get in another car accident. That's not necessarily true, but my system has logged that event. So it's going to be trying to protect me from that. This is why people say sometimes if they've lost a loved one or if they had something serious happen at a certain time in the year and the next year comes up and like the anniversary is coming up, sometimes their body will tell them before they even realize that the date is coming up, because the nervous system is that good at logging and trying to protect us in the future. Okay, so dorsal vagal, that's like the shut down, immobilized state, feeling like a zombie when you feel numb, more of a depressive state rather than a anxiety state. So this is where your body is trying to conserve energy. Sympathetic is your body using a bunch of energy, adrenaline, cortisol, all of that. It's making it to be used, and then it wants you to use that. In dorsal vagal, it's trying to conserve that energy because it's like we've used all this energy. In sympathetic, we don't have a lot more resources. We need to conserve some of this. So it will start to use the bare minimum it will give you the bare minimum in your body to, get through the day. This is where we develop some unhealthy coping mechanisms. We might feel trapped. Our emotions kind of shut down. We might feel disassociated from life. A lot of brain fog, feeling like you're in a tunnel, feeling like you're, moving through water, disconnected, dark, numb, hopeless, helpless, shut down, shame, despair, depressed. This state, as horrible as it sounds, is also designed for your protection. This decreases your heart rate, your temperature, eye contact, awareness of the human voice, social behavior, libido. All these things drop down because your body's just trying to conserve the energy. It increases endorphins that numb pain and your pain threshold. because the body doesn't want you to be in pain. It is trying to do its job and help you as much as it can. Now, all of these resources that we're going to learn about are going to help our bodies, but it's not just going to help our body to stay in ventral vagal all the time, right? We're not going to be in the optimal nervous system state all the time. That's just not realistic. We live in a world that's broken. We have stresses in our lives. We have things that come up. Even if we could control all the things, we still will be thrown into chaotic situations, thrown into stressful situations, having to deal with people who don't know how to resource themselves. And so we are going to find ourselves at times in sympathetic dorsal vagal, maybe on a regular basis, maybe on a daily basis. It just depends the season of our life that we're in. I think parents, like young parents that have small children, on a regular basis, you're going to find yourself in fight or flight or dorsal vagal, because of the fact that you're having to utilize so much energy and you have so much going on around you, and it's a constant thing. So our healthy goal is not to always be in the optimal ventral vagal. Our goal with this is to resource ourselves to be able to move through and process when we're in the sympathetic or the dorsal vagal, to be able to be in those states and then to move back to ventral vagal. So to be in sympathetic, to feel angry, irritated, or frustrated, and be able to process what's going on, why do I feel like this, be able to figure it out, or even not figure it out, but to resource ourselves, to give ourselves the resources to move back to ventral vagal. Now, sympathetic and shutdown are different from each other, because sympathetic, you have lots of extra energy. So the way that you resource yourself is going to be different in sympathetic than it is when your body is conserving energy and just wants to shut down. It's not going to give you very much energy to do the actual resourcing. So you have to be a little bit more strategic with that. But we'll talk about that as we go on with the course. Right now, you just need to know that these resources that I'm giving to you in this class help you to teach your nervous system to be flexible. So we will talk more as we go. In the next video, we're going to talk about neuroplasticity, which it sounds like just as complicated of a concept, but we're going to make it just as simple. So I'll see you in the next video.